Welcome to the dynamic learning hub of XLR at Andheri East. A prime spot conveniently located at just a 5-minute walk from LIC Andheri Metro. In our journey of over a decade, we have proudly trained over 2 lakh students. We have also been recognized by Deloitte, Silicon India, and other accreditation bodies. Experience learning like never before in our spacious and comfortable classrooms. With high-definition projectors and state-of-the-art acoustics in place, we ensure effective learning even to the farthest point in the room. The hybrid mode is a game changer as you can enjoy the benefits of a live classroom from the comfort of your home. Even if you happen to miss any classroom session, you can still attend the same session with the same trainer at the same time at your convenience, maintaining consistency in your learning progress. Wanna get started? Join us for a demo or career chat over a cup of coffee at our Andheri branch. XLR. We don't just train, we build careers.
Yes, so the collaboration with XLR was an excellent one. We conducted a Power BI workshop with Advanced Excel over a span of 3 days. The workshop was almost 12 hours long in total. Mr. Karthik, who was an amazing trainer, helped the students understand the concepts deeply. I am sure that the students will be able to apply these concepts in their careers as well as their daily lives.
The trainer, Mr. Karthik, was an excellent person where he explained in very detailed manner on how to give great insights using very complex data sets.
So it was a machine learning workshop. We learned a lot from the course and it was a great experience attending the workshop.
The trainer was very helpful. He had a hands-on approach with his teaching and it was fabulous.
This was a great experience for me. So I would absolutely love it if XLR and its team would come again to our campus and conduct more events like this.
It was a great course and it started from basics and took me to a great extent.
The experience of the workshop was really nice. The feedback from all the students was positive. They understood the concept. The workshop was also practical based with some questions. The experience with XLR was very smooth. They helped us in conducting the workshop smoothly right from the booking of the vendor and deciding the course till the distribution of certificates. In overall, this workshop was a success during our technical fest Atmos, and I thank XLR for being a part of it.
Good evening, all. I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible right
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you for the confirmation. So, students, I request kindly inform your friends to join the session as we can see the participants are very less. I request please inform your friends to join the session. Yeah, Aditya, sir, you can start the session.
now. Okay, ma'am. Everyone, just give me a second. I just need to share my screen. Just give me 2 to 3 minutes. Then I'm going to share my screen. Then we are going to start the session. Just give me a second, guys. I'm just sharing my screen. It was taking a bit longer than usual due to some technical issue. Just give me a second. Good evening to all of you. Just give me a second, guys. I'm just sharing the screen due to some technical issue. I'm not able to share the screen. Let me just troubleshoot this problem. Then we are going to just start the class. Okay. Yeah. Okay, guys. Sorry for the delay. I'm just going to start the session. Just give me a second. I'm going to share my screen. Then we are going to start. So before going to the class, I have a question to all of you. Does anyone have any doubt regarding the last sessions which we conducted? If you guys have any doubts, you can ask in the chat box. Otherwise, I'm going to start the session from where we left in the last class. Am I audible to all of you right now? Okay, thank you very much. I think none of you have any doubts, so we are going to just start the session. Let me just share the screen. Shushmita ma'am, I have one more device named Aditya. Can you please make it also as a co-host so I'm able to share the screen?
Yeah, sure, sir.
Ma'am, its name is actually Aditya, only Aditya ma'am.
Uh, okay, sir, I'm doing it.
Okay.
Yes, sir, it is done. You can check now.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, I think my screen is visible to all of you. Can anyone please confirm?
No, sir, it is once. Yeah, now it is fine, sir. It is visible.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. So yesterday, guys, what we did, we actually solved the DML statements, or you can say the SOQL statements, where we learn about how we execute the SOQL queries and see how do we get the different types of outputs. So today we are going to deep dive more in the Salesforce and see how actually these SOQL query is going to helpful for us when we are creating a CRM software. Let me just switch to Lightning Experience first. Now, as you see right now, I'm on my Salesforce org, and I think now everybody is comfortable with using the Salesforce org till now. So let me just open the here your particular developer console, and then we are going to see what we are going to do today. Let me just open the developer console first, and let me share this screen. So now today what we are going to do, we are going to see some other SOQL queries, and today we are going to actually talk about the parent-child relationship in the database. So first, let me talk about what is actually a parent-child relationship and what is a child-parent relationship in the particular queries or in databases. So first, let me just open our my anomalies tab, and here let me just remove all of this code. Okay. So see guys, there are two type of relation we found in our particular databases, or you can say in SOQL objects. So these two relationship, our first relationship is parent to child relation, and the second relation is child to parent relation. Let me just make a gap. So first is parent to child relation, and the second is the same, the vice versa, or you can say the opposite of child relation to parent relation. Now, what is the meaning of this child relation to parent relation and parent relation to child relation? So let's talk about these relationships and SOQL. So guys, this is not very tough thing, and this is actually a very simple topic. So in database, we also have two types of database. So one is also a child database, and other is also maybe a parent database. So now we need to know which is actually a child database and which is actually a parent database. And this is a little bit complicated to understand in the initial phase, but once what it was going to say. So first understand what is actually the first thing which I write here, parent to child relation. So if I talk about parent to child relationship, a parent to child relationship refers to the bond between a parent and their child, accommodating the sharing of data and other things. So this is actually a little bit useful because right now I'm going to give you an example of this parent to child relationship. So a parent to child relation is having multiple, like we have one parent and multiple childs. How this is going to be possible? Suppose a school is a parent and there are multiple students, they are actually the childs. So here you can see we have a school database and we have multiple students as a child database. Or you can say this is a child and this school is actually a parent database and this student database is actually child. And this student database is managed through this school. Same way when you talk about how many childs a parents have. So parent have multiple child. It have students, it have like faculties, it have also like admissions and other. But the question is arrive, how many parents is available for a single child? So if you are talking about child relation to parent relationship, then you have only one concern, or you can say only one relation. Child only have one parent, where a parent have multiple child. So this is the first difference between parent to child and child to parent relationship. Now let's talk about the second thing in the database, like there are different keys which we use in showing this relationship. So when we talk about actually SQL, right now I'm talking about SQL, not SOQL, so you need to confirm. So if I talk about SQL, the structured query language, in SQL we use like keys to represent these type of relationships. Like we use foreign keys. A foreign key is basically you can say a primary key or of a child database, or you can say a foreign key is the primary key of a child database. So if a parent key has a, if a suppose a parent database has a foreign key, then this foreign key will become a primary key in the child database. So in normal SOQL, we use basically keys to identify these relationships. But in SOQL, we have something else. So let's talk about what we have in SOQL. So in SOQL, parent-child relationship queries retrieve child record associated with query parent records. Like, let me just explain this in a simple way. So for example, I'm just going to give you here a simple code which I already written here for you. So if I write here, let me just come to the here and just make this a little bit down. Wait a second. So if I come here on query editor and here I need to write this query. So here you see right now I have a query here, which is first what I did. First I will select ID and then name. So right now I'm selecting ID and name, and after this you see I open a parenthesis. Now what this parenthesis is going to do? So see, every parent having a child relation. So first this is the parent database where we are selecting ID and name from the parent. After this, if I want to receive some data from the child also, like this parent has child, like in school I am getting all the information about the students and the faculty. Also, suppose I want to get some information from the student table. So what I did, I will just open a parenthesis here, like a small bracket, and inside this bracket I need to give that condition. As you see here, right now we have select ID, first name, last name from context. So this context is actually a child database, or you can say a child relation, or it was following a child relation with this account tab. So this context having a child parent child relationship with this account. And how you're going to know that a database is having these type of relationship. So for knowing this, guys, what you need to do, you need to come to the Salesforce org first. So let me just come to. So right now you see this tab actually. And first of all, what I need to do, I need to first come to the Salesforce org. Like here you can see if I open this Salesforce, and inside this Salesforce, you need to click on this icon and you need to go to the setup. When you go to the setup icon, let me share this tab. When you come to the setup icon this time, what you need to do, you need to come on the object manager, which is your database. And from there, you are able to see or find the relationship between different things. Like here you can see we have right now account table. Now, how am I going to know that this account table has a relationship with other or not? So if I click on this accounts this time, now here you can see you have different things. Now, if you go to the last thing, here you can see conditional validation rule accounts and other things. But if you just go a little bit up, and here in the details section, you will find different things. Like here you can see this account is API name is account, singular level, plural level, and different other things. Now, if I go a little bit down, like field and relationship, this field and relationship have different properties. Like here you can see like data type and other things which we are seeing. But this is not we also need to know. So from where you are not going to know that that particular thing is have a parent child relationship. For this, here you can see you need to come on this object limits. When you come on this object limits, here you have see some limits, but this is also not the thing where you need to go. After this, you see there are different types of like record type, search, layout, list, hierarchical, comma, scoping rule, object access triggers, follow flow triggers, validation rule. These are actually not going to have. You need to come these two things. And the scoping rule, when you come, you see the scoping of this particular database. So right now here you can see this is how this scoping will work in the particular SOQL rule. Like here you can be sharing, filtering, and results. So these are the basic scoping rules you need to first see, and you are also able to create your own rules in this section. Just give me a second, guys. Okay, sorry for the delay. So if you come here again, and if I go again on the setup icon here, and I need to find something, like if we see our query, the first time if you see this query, let me just show this tab. So if the first time you see this query is having a child relationship with this account, means this contact is actually a child and this account is a parent. So first we need to go to this account contact section, and then we are able to find this thing. So here right now, you see right now I'm here, and I'm going to the object manager again. And inside this, I need to search for the particular, or you can say the accounts or the contacts thing. So if I just go scroll a little bit down, and here I will able to find the contacts. So let me just see where is the contacts. So here you can see we have a contact which is a standard object. And now if I click on this thing, contacts, here you can say this contact is actually open, and here you have different information. Now if we come on the field and relationship, here we see there are different fields. Now how you are going to know that a particular data is a relationship of this? So for this you need to see this data type icon, and inside this you see this the lookup tab. Now here if you see this lookup, this is saying account, means this was having a child relationship with the account tab. Now this pick list, if you go a little bit down, you see this lookup. You need to see this lookup. Whenever you see this lookup, you need to find that this particular table or object is having a parent-child relationship, whatever data is given here. So it was a parent-child relation with user and also user. Then if you scroll down a little bit, you again found that this lookup means this individual having a relationship with the individual objects. Same way, this date has also, this lookup has an individual relationship with user also. As you scroll down, you will find different things like this report to also has a location or lookup to contact. Now, if you click on a particular thing like data type, and when you click on this, here you can see this is right time data type. And when you again click on this, you are able to see addresses and other things. And one more time, if you click on this, you will see the everything information by one, like address, what it was going to have. If I click again on, we see the every other things. Now this is how these things work. But what happened if I come and see some other objects? Like what is the relationship and how you are going to see this? For this, you need to come on the field relationship tab again. And after this, what you need to do, you need to click on this account name again. Now, when you click on this account name, you will open a tab like this, and here it will come the information of this account. Now here you see you get two information. First, you get a field name, which is account. Now after this, you get a child relationship name, contact. So the field name is actually account, and it has actually a child relationship name, which is contact right now. Because you see right now we are in contact objects, and here you can see the relationship name, which is contact. And here you see the data type is lookup account because it was actually a relationship. That's why you are able to see this lookup account. And here you can see the lookup filter, no lookup filter are defined. And this is what you are able to see. And you need to search for this section, child relationship name to contact, because these two things are very important. Now, after this, let's see how we are going to fetch some data from the having from a parent to child. So if you want to get some data using this parent-child relationship, what you need to do? The first thing you need to write is the select keyword, which is this select keyword. Let me just share this tab actually. Okay. So the first thing you need to do, you need to write this select tab actually, which is very important. After writing this select tab, what you need to do next, guys, you need to write here ID and name, whatever you want to get from your parent relationship. For example, right now my parent is actually having this account. So first I need to write ID and name, which I'm fetching from this account. After this, I need to put a comma, and then I'm going to put a bracket. And inside this bracket, you need to write second query. And that query is used for getting the information of your child. So here we write, we are getting select ID, first name and last name from contacts. So first of all, I need to see that these information are available in the contacts or not. So if I come again on the contacts and share this tab, and if I again click on the field and relationship this time, guys, here you can see right now we have different items. But what we are actually fetching this time, we are fetching here, if you see, we are actually fetching the first name, last name and contacts this time. So for getting the first name, last name and contacts, I need to see whether these fields are available on this contact object or not. So right now you see right now I'm the contact objects here, and here we need to go a little bit down to see these things. So if you see created by contact objects, let me just go a little bit down. Okay, so here you see we get the name. Okay, here we get the first name, last name, which we are also printing on the screen. And what we are printing, one more thing, I think first name, last name and ID. Okay, so these all information was actually always in the context. So we are getting these values from the contact, and after this we write from account. Means first you need to write a query inside this bracket, and this query should be your child query. Means this query is going to run for the child. After this we put a from from accounts means we are going to get all the values for account also. And here comes the main part, the clauses which we already studied, where id is equal to your account id, or here you can give a particular statement. So if you give this statement, it was going to work, or like here you can specify any statement like your account id. Now by using this we are going to get a specific things. Now let me show how this thing works. So first I'm going to remove this thing only here and control X. Now this is going to remove, and now if I try to execute this code, let's see what we are going to get in the output section. As you see here, we get different information right now. First, see, you are getting ID and we are getting name, and here you see this is actually your contact information, or you say the contact or the child database or child object information. Like this is the ID. If you just scroll book, here you can see this is the ID. Then you will get the first name, which is seen, then the last name, which is Forbes. Now, guys, suppose what happened if I give here a condition, like if I copy this ID, okay, Control C, and what I'm going to do from account, here just going to press this Control V. From account, here I'm going to give a condition here where ID equal to, and I need to pass this thing inside a string. And now if this time if I try to run this, let's see what we are going to get. Now if you see this time it was not actually working because I write the ID in the wrong way. So you need to write the ID in a proper way, which will be I should be capital and D should be small, because these are actually the field names. So you need to write these fields name correctly, otherwise you are going to get the errors. Now if this time if I try to execute this, here you see we are only getting one information, and this information is a specific information which we get. Now this time we are getting the name, which is H communication, and here we are getting the ID and the first name and the Ross. First name will be Ross, last name will be Gonelza, and here we get ID. So if you just double click it, you will see all the information of this thing, and this is how you are going to get your particular information from a parent class, or you can say a parent object, and you are going to fetch all the data of a parent to a child. And this is very useful when you are performing different type of operations. Now, I have a question to all of you. Does anyone have any doubt regarding the parent and child relationship, or should we move to the next topic? Can anyone confirm? Does anyone have any doubt regarding this, or should I move to the next topic? Okay. Okay, I get some questions. Okay. Okay, anyone else? Okay, I get one to two questions. Okay. So right now, guys, I want you, all of you, to do a task for you. And for this, I'm just going to give you like 2 to 3 minutes in this time. And what I want this time, if you see this query particularly, here we are actually fetching this thing ID. But right now, what I want to all of you to write a simple query from account. I'm just going to remove this thing. I think if you study the last class correctly, you're able to do this. Here you can see we have different edge communication and other things. But what I want that you are going to use a like operator, and in this like operator you are going to use any information which you are going to like, and you are going to put any information, like you can go put any name or any other thing which you are going to do. Like here you have ID, name, and other thing. Here you can also give specify company or lead, and I want you all of this thing printing using also here a like operator, where you are going to use where, and then you need to use like operator. And with like, what you need to use? You need to use the equal to operator. So for this query, I'm going to give you like 3 minutes. Let me just rewrite my question again. The question is, I want all of you to use the like operator with inside this query. Like this query is a simple query which is going to print everything, but I want all of you to use the like operator here and see what you are going to get when you are using a like operator. Also, you can use this like operator inside this query or inside this bracket. So there will be no any limitation inside this. You can write whatever query you want to need to write. You can also give here condition, like you can also write here where also. So there will be no any condition. So I want all of you to write a where condition inside this bracket and a where condition outside of the bracket to get some more specific result than all of this. So for this question, I'm going to give you only like 3 to 4 minutes. Those who have done this done writing this query can please send this query. I just want you, all of you, to use here a where keyword here, and I want you to give a specific condition to get more accurate results, and I want all of you to send that code to me in my personal message, in my personal, not in the chat box. So not to everyone, I just want all of you to send that particular results or solution in the my personal chat box. You have 3 minutes for doing this. Just complete this, then we are going to restart our class. Okay, everyone. So now we are going to move to the next topic, which will be our child to parent relationship. First, we talk about the parent to child relationship, but this time we are going to talk about the child to parent relationship. Now, parent to child relationship is actually easy compared to child to parent. When you're writing a parent to child relationship, what you need to write first, you are going to write the parent query after this ID and name section without specifying this contact. Remember, without specifying from contact, you need to write open a bracket, and inside this bracket, you write your particular query, which is going to work for parent and to child. But what happens if you want to write a child to parent relationship? Now, when you try to write a child to parent relationship, at that time, the program or the query will be not like this. The query will just change and change its format. Like if I just write here a query, which is going to be a new one. So suppose this time what I'm going to fetch, I'm going to fetch some information from child. So first here I'm going to write my first query, which will be select, and what it was going to select, it was going to select some specific data, some places. Like it was going to select first name, last name, but from where? This is the point. So select, here I'm writing first name, first name. Okay, select first name. Then I'm going to also selecting last name, comma, last name. After this first name and last name, what is the next thing I'm going to select is one more thing. But this time I'm going to select name from accounts. See, this is actually from here, let's suppose from contacts. So we are fetching this data from actually contacts. So right now you see, I'm writing a query here, which is fetching data, first name and last name from contacts. But here I'm also going to print the name, this section also. So how am I able to print this section? So when you are writing a parent to child query, at that time you need to remember, whenever you are trying to fetch the parent object, What you need to do, you need to write the parent name, then dot, and then the object name after this query. So after last name, what I need to do, I need to put here a comma, then the first thing is the parent object name, which will be account, because we are fetching this data from account. So ACCOUNT, then dot operator, and after this you need to specify the API name, or you can say the field name, which is going to fetch the information of this. So right now I'm fetching account dot name from here, account dot name. Also I'm fetching the same thing. Let me copy this line again, account dot name I'm fetching, then I'm fetching one more thing, account dot ID, and I'm going to fetch one more data here. So let me see what I'm going to also fetch. So let me just share this, and here we are just come on the again object managers, coming on accounts, and let's see what we have extra in this account. So field and relationship, here if I go a little bit down, so here you see we have also this account number. So I'm going to also fetch this. So you need to write the field name, copy this line, come to the developer console again, share this tab instead, and after this what I'm going to fetch, I'm going to fetch one more thing, which will be this account dot number. Now this part of query is done actually. Now if I try to execute this, let's see what we are going to get. Here you see we are going to get some errors, and this is a very interesting thing which you need to study. Like here you can see account dot name, account number from contact, error at row 1 column 87. So we are getting a error on column 87. And what is this error actually? So subject type contacts, here you can see subject type contacts, if you see, let me, context is not supported. If you are attempting to use a custom object, to be sure you append the underscore double C after the entity name. Please reference your WSDL or describe the call of the appropriate name. So here we have a problem, because I think we just make the name a little bit wrong. So let's write the right name. I think there is a problem with the name. So Control C, remove this context from here. Control plus V. Now this is going to work fine. Let's try to execute this. Okay, I'm getting this again error. Let me see what is the problem actually here. Just wait a second. Let me remove these codes actually from here. Okay, so I'm getting the same result here. I need to see the accounts tab, setup again, object manager. There will be a mini problem little bit. So let's come to the contacts again. Contacts, actually I think I just make the spelling wrong. So API name will be, okay, so API name is actually contact, and I'm writing contacts. That's why I'm getting this error. So I need to write the API name actually here. So which will be this. Let me just open again. Where it is. Control C. Let's come here. Share this tab from contacts to contact and execute this. So now this time we are able to execute everything properly, and you see what we are getting. So here we are getting three things. You can see the first name, which is this, then the last name. These two are from the contacts, and this account dot name is actually the information of the account dot account table, which is this edge and other thing. Also, you are able to print other information from this account also. Like if I put here a comma, and after this account name, I can specify one more thing, like Control C, and after this I'm going to specify account dot name instead of this account dot ID. And now if this time if I click on this icon, what we are going to get, let's see. Now if you see, this time we are also getting the first name, last name, and account ID. Now many of you have a question like, should we have an option to print these two values before these two things? So let's try to run this thing and see that this work or not. So if I just copy these two values from here, Control X, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put these two values inside after this select statement. So if I did the same thing here, what have the problem? Now if I try to execute this thing, guys, we are going to have a problem, because if you see this, here you see we are actually able to print this information, because whenever, remember, in this thing you actually don't have going to any problem, but you need to only remember one thing. In the query you can write this account dot name and account dot ID anywhere, and it was going to refer the particular parent object which you are trying to access through this child object. Now these queries are very useful when you want to fetch data from two different tables or two different objects, and you want to retrieve a specific data. Like after this contact, if I give here a condition like where name equal to, here I can give a condition like a specific condition where name equal to, or if you remember correctly, can anyone tell me in last classes which particular statement I am using or which keyword I am using to print a particular, or you can say a specific objects like in or like? Can anyone tell me which particular keyword is used for matching multiple values? Does anyone have any idea? Anyone? It is either in or it is like. Can anyone tell me? Okay, so in the last class, actually, we are using the in keyword for this. So here, if I just write where name, and after this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the in keyword. So let me just write first name here, where first name, So here I'm going to come and give you a condition where if first name, where first name, like or in like. So here we are going to use actually the in keyword where first name in, and here I need to give the name which I want to check. So here first of all I need to write different parentheses, and inside this we need to write our query. So after 2 I need to put here a comma. So this will be first and this will be second. So here I'm going to give three things. So first will be Rose, then Scene, then Jack. So here inside this double quotes, first will be Rose. So Rose, second will be the second thing here I need to give. Okay, so here is the comma. Okay, after this inside this I need to write the second thing which will be Pat, and inside this third statement I need to give one more thing which is this Tim. So right now you see what I did, I will use here a in operator to match the specific results here this time. And what I'm matching Rose, Pat and Tim inside all of this data, and I apply here a first name in condition. Now this time what was going to happen, we are only going to get those account name whose first name are these. So if I click on execute, here you see we are only getting these base. But what happened guys, if I try to execute the same statement here, are we able to get this? No, we are actually not able to perform this thing with the parent object. We are only able to fetch parent object. But if you want to give some specific condition, the condition is going to give on here on the first name or on the last name. Like if I try to give here a condition, suppose the name place of first name, what I did here, I just changed this first name and I will change this to account name. So let me just copy this account name where account name, and here I'm going to use the in keyword again. Instead of rows, I'm going to give a new one like this edge communication. Okay. So Grand Hotel and Resorts we are in. It will be Grand. Then we have hotels. After this, and we have this thing which I need to write, and resort limited. So here you see we just write our query, and now if I click on execute this time guys, you can see the query was executed, and here you see we are actually not getting any information, because sometime when we learn this with actually performing a where condition on the, we are not actually going to get the proper results. So this is a little bit problem we are going to face when we try to perform things on the parent object using a child. So when you're fetching a child object, at that time try to focus or try to give the more things or try to give more condition on the child object rather than the parent object. Does anyone have any doubts regarding this? If anyone have any doubt, you can ask me, otherwise I'm moving to the next topic. You guys have 2 to 3 minutes to ask me the question in the chat box, otherwise I'm going to move to the next topic. If anyone have any problem regarding this thing, you can ask me again about the queries and whatever I write here. And after this, we are going to move to the next topic, which will be our DML statements. Does anyone have any doubts regarding this? You can ask me again. Otherwise, I'm moving to the next topic. Those who have doubt, send a message on my chat box. Yeah, this is related to RDBMS, but RDBMS is like relational database management system, which is work in other projects or other technology, where SOQL is a Salesforce object query language, which is work on the SOQL platform. Like as you all know in the starting, which I already told you about that Salesforce is a cloud-based CRM software. So SOQL is only going to work on this platform, but the thing is same. Yeah, this is same as RDBMS, but remember in RDBMS we use foreign keys and primary keys concept to make the relationship or show the relationship between the particular you can say parent child and child to parent relationship. And one more question, how many of you applied the internship which I told you yesterday, which was available on the Salesforce platform? Because actually when I research about that, I will find that they are actually paying around 70,000 stipend for the freshers. So does anyone have applied the particular intern position which I showed you for so those who are belongs to Hyderabad, they can easily apply for that internship. The exam will be going to start from, I think, the end of this month. You're going to give the test. So I think many of you applied. Can anyone tell me who applied for that position? Okay, everyone. Now the question is here. Now, no, sir. Could you send again that link? Vijay, Ramya, can you tell me which link you are talking about right now? The career section link. Vijay Ramya, are you talking about the career, the Salesforce intern position which I told you yesterday? Are you talking about that link? Okay. So I'm just going to show you again one more time the particular thing from where you are going to apply for that position. And please guys just apply that position because this has just come on this Sunday and this is a very good opportunity if you are in your third year or in your final year. So what you need to do, you need to just come on the Google and you need to search for Salesforce careers. And when you search for Salesforce career, you'll just open this icon which will be say jobs Salesforce org. You need to click on this section. After see this internship is not going to be for very much day, it was just opening like here. You need to specify here country. Here you need to specify India. After this, you see this is India. And after this, what is the next thing? You need to come on this employer type and here you need to search for intern. After this, don't search anything and click on search here. And you find this intern. This is a fixed term and temporary internship which will be for in India, Hyderabad, and it is actually a remote position. And this is a very good internship for those who are new and those who want to study this thing. So this is a very good thing for all of you who are in right now on their third year or in their final years. What you need to do first, you just simply need to click on this particular internship like this. After clicking on this, here you can find this information about this internship, what is this, and from here you are able to apply this internship. So this internship actually does not require any type of certification or any type of experience. The main thing what you need to do, you have a very good understanding organization skill, and here you can see a strong understanding of various security certification for cloud environment. You can just go through by all of these a little bit, so you get a quick demo or quick understanding about what are these things. So just go off these things and you will also learn everything. By when you need to click on here on the section of apply now, and when you click on this apply now section, you will find one more tab like this, and here comes the main part, and here you are going to apply for this. So here you have two options, either you have to fill with resume, apply manually. So you can use anything to fill that particular job, and this is very good job because it was actually paying 70,000 INR as a stipend, between I think 40,000 to 70,000 in INR as a stipend for the interns. And this is a very good opportunity to get a job in Salesforce, because Salesforce is also one of the most leading tech companies right now, and it was trending in the CRM software market. So Salesforce is a best company for you to start your career, and this is also a very good opportunity, and there will be a multiple opportunities are also going to come during the month of, you can say, November and December. So everyone, please try to do this. I'm just also going to share you the link, so you can directly click on this thing and you will open this intern position directly here on this section. After this, you can just simply click it and you're able to open this. So let me just send this thing. Okay, now let's come to our topic, and we are going to right now our next topic, which will be DML. Now we are going, before going to DML, I have a challenge for all of you, which we are going to see through and see how much we learned through this course and through this DML. So first, let's go and see our topics. Then we are going to move to the next thing. Now, if you come on the challenges here, I need to show you some challenges on here. So let's start with our challenges one. So the challenges basically have 7 challenges and we need to complete. So let me just first write all the challenges for you. Then we are going to see every challenges one by one. Just give me a second. Desktop downloads. Okay, so let me start writing the first challenge. Okay, so here comes the debugger screen, and this is our first challenge. For you, the first challenge is this. Now, if you see this first, let me just make this, a more good way to show. Okay. So here you see this is the first question which I write here. So what you need to do, you need to write a SOQL query to retrieve all contacts from a Salesforce OR. Retrieved results should show contact name, title, phone, and email. So it was saying that we need to write a SOQL query to retrieve all contacts from a Salesforce org, means from the Salesforce or platform, and we need to retrieve results should show contact name, title, phone, and emails. So how we are going to write this? So this is not a tough query. Let's try to write this. So just make this here a little bit tough. So first thing, we need to write here the select statement. Select. After this, we need to see what we are actually fetching. So we need to fetch all contacts. So retrieve all contacts from Salesforce. So here we need to select all contacts, contact name, title, phone, and email. So let's try to fetch all this information. So select. After this, we need to fetch contact name, title, phone, and email. So we need to see the object, go to the object manager here. And this side object manager, we need to come on this contact actually. We need to search for a specific thing. Like we need to search, go to the feed and relationship, and we need to see the literals or the field name for everything. So what we are actually searching here? So here we are searching contact name, title, phone, and email. So just give me a second, guys. Just give me a second, guys. I'm just coming from washroom. Then we are going to start the class again. Okay, sorry for the delay, guys. So here you see what we need to see. We need to see the field name of everything inside this context. So we actually want the contact name. So how we are going to get the contact name? Actually, just give me a second. Actually, I just press the contact name actually. Okay. So here I need to find the contact names inside this contact. So just scrolling a little bit down. So here we get contact owners, and here we get the account name. Okay, assistants, create date. Okay, email, fax, language, level, mobile, and here we get the names of the situation. So here we get the first name and name. So we are going to get this name thing print. So just copy this, control C, this field name, and coming to our developer section. And let me just share this. So select, first we want contact name. So select names. After this name, what we want the next thing is title, or you can say the salutation, or what is the title for that particular person. How we are going to do get the title. For this, again, I need to come on the context here, and I need to share this tab, and this time I need to search for the title. So if I just go here, I scroll down, here we get the titles, and the API name, or you can say the field name, is same. See, many times the field name is same, the field name is not different from the field label, but you need to check once what is the field name and what is the field label, because sometimes the field label and field name is different. So again, coming on a developer screen, and this time after this name, the second thing I need to fetch is this title. After this, I need to fetch phone and email. So coming here again, share this tab, and here we have phone and email. So email will also be like email, and let's see the phone information, and phone will be also like phone. So let's copy this, Control C, coming on developer console, share this tab for you. So email, title, after this phone, and then after this, what I want the next thing is email. So email, and where you are getting this thing? We are getting this from contacts. So here I need to write from contact actually, because the name is contact, not contacts. So from contacts, and now if we click on execute, here you see we are successfully run our first question or the first statement, which is this: write SQL query to retrieve all contacts from a Salesforce org. So we retrieve all the contacts from the Salesforce org, and we have all the information. Now let's come to the question number 2. So this is actually question number 1, and now I'm coming on question number 2 and see what is actually the question number 2. So here just writing this first question, and let me just send this code to you also. I'm just going to send the question and the solution also one by one. So Control C. Try to practice all of these things because they are important. Is my voice is clear right now, or it was not audible to you? Can anyone please confirm? Is my voice audible to all of you right now? Okay, thank you very much. So this is the first question, and this is the solution for the first question. Now, after the first question, let's go to the second question. And this time I want guys to you, all of you, to try this question. Now, the second question is that we need to modify Control X. Let me just come on the Salesforce org to all of you. Now, the second question is a little bit different. This time, what you need to do, you need to make a little bit changes inside this query, and this is the state. So here we are modified to retrieve only those contacts. Okay. So now this time what you need to do, you need to modify this SOQL query to retrieve only those contacts with title VP technology. So inside this you need to make a little bit of, you can say, modification by using the where clause to make it only this is going to print the particular, or you can say retrieve the only VP technology. Do you guys know how to make this? Okay, so I think 3 to 4% are responded. Okay, Janvi, select from contact where title equal to VP and title. Very good. So here we get a very good response from this. Actually, yeah, very good. This you actually need to use only this. So this is a response from Janvi. Okay, I get one more correct answer. So I'm going to give you like 3 minutes. So Janvi, you have the correct answer. Very good. Now other was also sending their particular statements. So I'm giving you like 2 minutes, guys, for this. Let me see how many of you give you the right answers. So you have 2 minutes for sending me the answers. Shalini Shrutya, select contact name title from email from Salesforce. Shalini Shrutya, you are writing epilogue. You are not. We are not getting this thing in Salesforce actually. We need to get this through actually from the context. If you study the question properly, you will find that this question says write SQL query to retrieve all contacts from Salesforce org. Means right now you are already in the org, you are already in this organization or the CRM. Retrieve results should show contact name, title, phone. So you need to retrieve all the example of contact object. Salesforce org is not an object, it was actually a website. And this is contact is object. You need to get all the information of this contact. And the thing which I already told you, that you need to write this statement actually. You need to write the second, which will modify your SOQL query to retrieve only those contacts with title VP technology. Now let's see how we are going to get. So I'm actually getting 3 answers. So Gorel Krishna VM 4319, you have given the right answer. Janvi, you are giving the right answer. Yes. Now Shalini, you have right thing. Very good. Now guys, let's come to the next thing. And here what we are going to do, we are going to write here the condition. Now let's see what will be your condition part to print that thing. So for this here I need to write where. After this where, if you see what it was saying, modify SOQL to retrieve only those contact with VP technology. So we only need to retrieve those which have VP technology. So here you can see VP facility, VP administration, VP. So we are only interested in getting the VP. So those who have title VP. So whoever have VP, we need to get all of these things. So how you are going to write for this query? So see, for this is not actually tough. What you need to do, you need to do two things. You need to write this query actually here. And what is the query? Where title is equal to VP. After this, I'm putting here a comma, and here you can see what I did. I'll give here this as a condition. Now the title should be two things. Either it should be VP Technologies. Now if this time we try to execute this code again, here you can see we'll get our answer because we actually want to print this. So you need to also see the question properly, and this is where you make a mistake. Here if you see this properly, this was actually a string because you have two quotations like VP comma technology. So it was very simple. You just use a where clause and then title is equal to VP technology, and you are able to print this information. Now let's come to the third section or third question of this particular section and see how many of you are able to solve this third question. So question 3, this will also be a challenge to all of you, and let's see how many of you are able to solve this. So now the third question is little bit tough. So what you need to do, you need to modify your SOQL query this time. Let me just rewrite it again. Control X. Okay, so coming here, the third question will be this. So you need to modify the SOQL file called department. Okay, so now the third question say that modify SOQL, this SOQL query you need to modify and add another field. And here you are going to add another field called department in the result. And this field should be the second field in the result. So what you are going to do, you are also need to add here a department inside this, and this department field is going to be shown on the second. Right now you see the title is second, but this time I want to modify this SQL query and I am going to add one more field which is department, and this department should be the second field in the results. So whenever you get result after name, you have department, not title. So this is very easy. How many of you are able to do it? You need to just write a single keyword. Does anyone know how to do this? Anyone? Let's see, does anyone have answer? Group by department? Janvi, actually why we are going to do group by? Actually, we are not using group by. See, this is a very simple thing. Why I'm going to use a clause or a keyword? If you study this question properly, modify SOQL and add another field. So we are just say that it needed to add another field called department in the result. This field should be second field in the result. So after this title, so name, and after this you just specify here the department and everything work finely. So you just need to copy this department here after this name, and in the place of title, I'm just pasting here department and then a comma, and everything is going to work fine. Now if I click on execute, see, everything is working fine. And now we are getting the name, department, title, phone, and email. And our question is also done. So see, this question is not big. Whenever you see a big question, it doesn't matter. That particular thing is going to be also tough. So seeing big question, you are not going to worry about, because big question is usually have short solutions or small answers. Just give me a second. Let me just open it again. Actually, this was just stop. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second, guys. Let me reshare my screen again. Okay, select name, title, department, phone, email from contact where title is. Very good, Shalini Shatroy. You did a great job. Okay, is my screen visible to all of you again? Can anyone confirm? So let me just open the debugger section again and let me write this breathing again. Actually, I just have a problem. Okay, so this is 3 questions which we done, and this is the last query which we run. And now we are going to modify this query till 7 part. After this part is done. So let's come on the query editor again, and here I'm going to write this query again. Now after this I need to add here one more question. Now this will be the question number 4, and it will be a little bit tough than the other ones. So now what will be the fourth question is saying? So the fourth question is, guys, saying that this time what you are going to do, you need to retrieve or you need to modify this SOQL, but here you need to give a condition. Now let me just rewrite the question so you can see. So here if you see, the fourth question is a little bit complicated, and it will say modify SOQL results, and what it was going to do, satisfying step 2 condition and has department value as finance. Now if you see this query, it will be a little bit complicated. It will say that you need to modify this SOQL to retrieve all results satisfying step 2, means it need to satisfy the step 2 which say modify SOQL to retrieve only those contact with title VP. Means it was saying you need to modify this query once again, but step 2 is also going to be satisfied, means it was not going to change, and has a department value as finance. So you need to add also a condition in this particular section where you get a department value as finance also. So what you are going to do, you need to modify this query where this title is equal to VP technology is going to say. Also you need to add one more condition here that is going to say that department value is going to finance. Are you guys able to make this? See, this is also not very tough. So I'm just going to give here. You are just, I think we already, okay, Janvi, very good. We have a very good answer from Janvi actually. Janvi did a good answer. Let's see how many of you other are able to give us. Okay, Gorel Krishna. Okay, Gorel Krishna Vinyam. Gorel, actually you need to send the answers to me, not in the chats directly. You are also doing good. Just give me a second, guys. I just need to drink water. Just give me a second. I'm just taking a 2 minutes break. Then we are going to start. I think our meeting just give me a second, guys. Okay. Am I audible to all of you right now? Sorry for the disconnection. Okay, let me just share it again. Okay, so now this is the fourth question, and inside this question, what we say that we need to give a condition again, modify this SOQL to retrieve all results. Also, it was going to satisfy the step 2 condition and has a department value as finance. So what we need to do, we also studied yesterday a keyword name, and so we are going to give here a keyword. After this, we say that we are going to specify this department value, which should be finance. So here I need to write department, and this department should be finance. And here you need to write this thing inside a quotation. So department should be finance. So copy this line, Control C, paste it here. And now if I click on execute this time, you see everything is going to work finely, and we are also getting one more thing. But this time you see we are actually not going to get any information because we just make this title VP Technology and Department Finance. That's why we are not able to get any information or anything else. Now here after this we are going to modify this thing a little bit more. So now let's give me the fifth query again here. So this fifth query will be a little bit complicated. So let me just try it. The fifth query, let me copy fifth question number 5. Okay, here this is. So now we have question number 5, and this is question number 5. Now this will become a little bit interesting thing this time. Now as you see, when we make the fourth query, or when we do the task of the fourth question number 4, we are actually not getting any output. So we are not actually getting any output when we make the fourth code. Let me just first send this till this code all. Also I'm going to send you all the codes till the last point, so no need to worry about that also. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you here is, now you see if this is this question, it will say modify SOQL, include all SVP and VP new search result. Make sure your result still meet up step 4 condition. So this time you see where if in the starting we say that title is only VP, now we have said that title should be all SVP and VP. So means this time the title should be VP and SVP also. So how we are going to do this? For this guys, do you know how we are going to do this? So you need to give here the condition inside this title. Does anyone know how we are able to do this? Remember, I think here you are going to use the like keyword instead of this. So see what it was saying, where all have SVP and VP. So it means both having VP. See, SVP and VP both having VP. So why should I don't use here like instead of this title? What I did, where I use the like keyword, where like after this like what I'm going to use, I'm going to use the pattern matching concept here. So where like, let me see, like is right, okay, like, and after this, just let me remove this. Okay, where like, and here I need to make it percentile. So now if you remember correctly, where like is equal to VP, this is going to work as a pattern matching, or it was going to match the pattern. So for matching all the patterns, what I need to do, I am going to put here only one, or you can say not a single percentile, but I'm going to print here 2 percentile. So it was going to match with all. So it was going to match this VP, either it will come first, or it will come between, or it will come last. It needed to be inside a single quote, so put a single quote here, also there, and now this part is done. Now if this time if I click on execute, you see here we get an unknown error phrasing. So we are like VP, and here this is getting, because we have technology here, and now this will work fine. So now if I click on execute, again see I'm getting this actually error. Let me just see why I'm getting this. Just let me write this again. We are like VP. Okay, does anyone have any idea why I'm getting this error? Okay, see, does anyone have any idea why I'm making here error? See here, there will be a very small thing. Let me show this thing so you can understand. Remember, this VP and SVP is actually in this title section. So here you see, I use actually where like is VP, but I don't specify in which table this is going to check, because in objects we have different tables and rows. So in which row this VP is going to check? It was going to check inside this name, this department, or this title. So I need to specify that place, otherwise this is not going to work and it was not going to give you the proper results. So after where, what you need to do, you need to write here the title. So here you need to write title, then it is going to work. So right now here I write the title. Now it was going to check this thing inside the title, like where title like VP and department finished. Now those who have questioning like why I put 2 percentile on front and back, or 2 that because I'm going to check this VP, either it will start from the top, or either it will start from in the back or the end of this thing. we are going to get this result because we want all include SVP and VP. Now this time we click on execute, let's see what we are going to get. So this time our code was executed actually successfully, and here you see we get 3 results. Now what we get, Pat Summer, Timmy Bar, and this thing. And here we get SVP Administrator Finance, SVP Administration Finance, VP Finance. Here we get the phone and the email and these values. When we are doing like this, after this, guys, I'm going to have 2 more tasks in this particular statement, and which after this particular topic will be end. Now let's see the question number 6, and this will be a little bit easy than the remaining question. So let me just give you the question number 6, and this time I want all of you to try this question because this is the most easiest thing inside this. So what you need to do this time, you need to sort the result by name in descending order. I think you guys are able to do this. Do it, guys. Let me just send this code first, all of you to. Remember, we are only doing this thing for name. If I order by descending, remember I want that it should be done by Janvi for names. If you spell this correctly, short result by name in descending order. And then you have the last question, which will be question 7. And this will be, let me just write question 6 and then 7. You also need to limit the search result to only 3. Actually, it was only 3, so you need to search it like 2. So how you are going to do this? For this, the first thing you need to write here. Again, right now I'm not going to do it. I'm going to give you like 2 minutes for this. These are very easy things. Shalini Shrutia, very good. But Shalini, again, I'm going to tell you, you need to send these codes to me directly, not to everyone. Okay, Shalini, do the last part of this question and then we are done with this. Okay, Shalini. Okay, Shalini Chitroy, there will be no any problem. Where we send? Karthik, you need to send this query in the chat box actually. You need to send this query in the chat box. Okay, so right now I'm going to write the final queries part. So for this, here you can see first I need to order this thing by name. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write the clause name, which will be order by, and then which for this we are going to order, order by name, and in which order I'm ordering this. Here you can see on descending. So here I need to write DESC, and this is done. Now order by name descending. Now if I click on execute, see everything is working properly, and this will done everything. After this, you see the last thing it was going to say that I need to limit the search result by only 2. So what I'm going to do, how I'm going to limit it? For this, I think if you remember correctly, in the last class we talked about the limit keyword also. So here I need to write the keyword limit, and here I'm going to give the limit 2. So it will only print the first 2 rows, and here you can see everything is done. And this is all the part of 7 questions which we done till this point. And this is the final query which was created after continuing this part. So let me just send this final part. Okay, Shalini Shatro, very good. So this is the final query. Shalini Shatro, you have a very good answer. You make this very good correctly. And this is time I'm going to give you all the questions. Try to solve it by your own self, by one time or two times. Okay. So now guys, this part is here done. Now we are done with this part. Now let's come to our next part, which will be our DML. Now we are going to DML, but before going to DML, I think everyone has understand the topics which we studied inside this SOQL. Let's see what we study in this SOQL till this point. So inside this SOQL, we studied multiple things, like we studied the multiple clauses, and in today's class, we talk about the first, the relationship between the objects. Like we talk about two relationships. The first is parent to child, and the second is child to parent. We also know how we are going to fetch data from a parent to child and a child to parent. So if we want to fetch a data from a parent to child, what we need to do? We need to write like this. Like first, we need to write the parent, and then inside a bracket you need to use bracket, and inside this bracket you need to write child query. So parent query should be outside, and here in this after parent you need to give, in the parent query you need to parent, and here you need to select field. After selecting field you need to focus this, selecting field you need to write child query. After writing your child query, whatever query you write, you need to write the from keyword from parent object, from parent. Okay, so this is how you are going to work. This is how a parent query is going to work. So first thing you need to write select. You need to select the fields from parent, from the main class. After this, you need to put a bracket. And inside this bracket, you need to write your child query. After this, you are going to use the from keyword and parent. And here you can use the where, like, in, like, and other operators to give condition. The same way, if you want to receive or retrieve a particular parent data using you want to retrieve, suppose you are getting data from the child class, but at that time you want to retrieve a parent object. So what you are going to do, you need to write the parent object name in the selection field, parent object parent. Then you are going to use the dot operator and the field name which you want to access. Like I want to access name, like this name. Then after this comma I am giving another. So you need to write like this, then you are able to get the parent object when you are trying to fetch actually a child object. So this is how these things is actually going to work. Control V, say this will be parent name, this will be parent ID, and anything. After this, you can give anything else like select field, a child query like anything like name, class, from contact. And how you are going to know that a particular class is a parent class or child class? You are going to know through lookups. So here you can see what we did: parent name, parent.name, parent.id, then we have name and class, which is going to from context. So here you're seeing which we are right now actually going inside the particular, or you can say we are going inside in our particular context database or context object, but we are also fetching this parent name or parent ID. This is done due to this dot operator and the parent class name. After this, let's come to the next topic which we talk about till today, and we also solve a particular problem to understand how these query actually work. Now this is the end of query, but before going to do this, I also want to show you something more. So let me just show you what I want to actually show you. So here, if you just see here, I'm going to execute one more code. Actually, I'm going to execute the same query here. So let me write, okay. So I'm going to write the same query again, and I'm going to execute this query. And this time I'm going to show you the importance of log, which we are every time saying, but we don't understand. I think everyone knows, like we are only watching the logs to see the parts. But here comes the main part. Now guys, if I again come to the query editor this time again, and here if I click on here this code and click on Control V and click on execute, you see this query was executed, and here you can see we also able to see different values. Here grid row, and here if you click on logs this time, you are see we don't have any logs this time. Like if you see on the users, applications, operations, we are not able to see any logs this time. But when we come on the debugger section and try to execute some code, at that time we are able to see the log. Now let's try to show the actual value of log. So now if I execute this piece of code, which is a random code, Here, if you come on the debugger section, right now I'm not coming on debugger section, and here you see you have 4 options: this, frame, executable, debugger, and filter. And click here to filter org. So sometime when you learn SOQL, what is the use of? So when we integrate these database languages or SOQL language with the Apex, at that time this is going to work. So if you write here SOQL, you are able to see here the details of number of SOQL query executed. Like you can use SOQL query to know about SOQL which was running through your program. You can write DML, and you need to know also about DML statement, like how many DML statement was actually executed. So right now we are going to see the next part of our programming, which will be the DML statement. Now let's come to the DML and see what is actually DML and how we are going to use this DML. Let me just open this debugger console, and first let me tell you about DML. So before DML, guys, what we studied till this point, we studied the SOQL, which will be a query language for the database, which was used to fetch data from the database. Where DML is different. DML is data manipulation language. I think everyone knows. So DML has a role to manipulate the data. It has the ability. So the DML statements or DML language has the ability to manipulate the data in an order way, like insertion, updation, deletion, and removal. Like I think CURD, which we already know, the basic or the most popular DML operations. CURD, I think everyone familiar with CURD. This is also a asked question interview: create, update, rename, or then delete. So these are the 4 things which is the most important operation which we perform in DML. So now we are going to see how we are going to give some data or store data inside a DML operation, how we are going to store the data of a list or data of object, and how we are going to store inside a list, and how we are able to store a data of a particular, sorry for this. So I'm going to show how we are able to store an item of list inside a objects using DML stand. Like I have a list or set which have multiple data, and how I'm going to use that particular section to implement everything. So I'm going to use a list, and inside that list, whatever data I have, I'm going to put all the data inside the object or in Salesforce using that DML. So now we are going to see that thing, and let's see how we are able to do this. Just give me a second, guys. Okay. So the first thing we are going to see in the DML operation is the insert operation. Like what is actually a insert operation in the DML? So see, insert operation in DML is not that tough. It is also one of the easiest part you see. Insert means inserting a new data inside the particular database. So how we are going to do this? Let's come on the developer console and see. Inserting means whenever you want to add or insert a data. Before this, if you see this section, if I come on this contact section, here you see you have an option, like you can see these options, query grid. You can insert a row here by just clicking here. So cannot insert a list of row of ID column is not included, because here we are not checking. So if I click on here and click on insert row, now here we need to give an ID, otherwise not. Here you are also able to delete a row, but it's need an ID. So we have an ID. You can perform these type of operation directly through your debugger console. But we are going to see that how we are able to perform these tasks without using this section, means like a program, because we are actually developers and we need to know everything. So here I am going to write a basic code which is going to delete a thing. But here's the problem. This time I am actually going to create a class for this, and this thing is going to be done through a class, not actually through something else. So let's see how I'm going to create a class for this. So creating a class is little bit complicated for this type of purpose. So let me come on this section, and here I'm going to create a class which is going to use for inserting some elements in a particular database, which is going to be a function. So let's create a class. So click on in here, Apex class, and this is class known as insert data class. So because this class is going to insert data inside the object, so insert data class. And here we need to write the name of the class, which will be class also, insert data class. Click on here, enter, and our class was actually created, guys. Now here comes the main part. Inside this class we need to write a function. How I am going to write a function? Now for this, guys, you need to remember one thing, and that is that you need to have a focus of, or you need to have a very good knowledge about the SOQL queries and the DML statement. When you have these information, then you are able to make it, otherwise you are going to make a mistake. So let's try to write this thing and see how we are able to complete this part. So here you see, right now I have a simple class. So first I am going to create this thing. So now this class name, here you can see this is a class name which will be public class, and I have insert data class. And here I'm going to first make a list which is going to store some data. So it was going to store public static. It was a static function, and it is actually a list. So I need to specify the data type of things, like what is this and what it was going to be. So it is a list, and I need to, after this I need to give here the name of this list. What will be this list? But here comes the main part. This list is not like any other list. This list is actually our accounts. So here I need to specify accounts. So right now I'm actually trying to give here accounts. So this list is actually the account list or accounts which we have right now. Here you can see, here when you write the list, you are able to see this account. So right now I'm using this account as a list for me. So right now I'm clicking here list, and just let me write here, remove this section. So this list is actually this account. Okay, so now we just created our list, which is done here. After this list, we are going to create the new instance of this object. So this will going to work properly. So here we created the account, and after this I'm going to call the method name or the list, which will be insert, or you can say insert value or insert function, whatever you want to name it. After this, the next thing we need to write is to create this, the whole part of this code. So let me just make this whole code, then I'm going to explain you every part. So just give me a second. Okay, so insert account. So here I'm going to write list, public static list account. Here it will be an insert account function inside this insert account. What I need to do next, I need to write the list account and account to insert. So here come this part, list account. Okay, let me write here. After this, we are going to write here one more condition, and this condition is going to take a value like account to insert. Okay, okay, here I'm just writing account to insert. Let me just complete this first. Account to insert. Okay, now I need to write the body of the, okay, so here this is the body of this method. Now inside this body I need to write two things. The thing will be like, it was going to get this insert account. Okay, so here we are going to insert. What we are inserting? We are inserting account to insert, and we are returning also. So return the same thing, account. Okay, so now I'm going to explain you what I have written on all of this line. But first, come on the problem section and see what is the problem right now here. Here you see we are getting a problem here on line 5 and 4, and right now you see we don't have any problem. So first let's understand what I written in the first, second, third, fourth line. See, in the second line, actually I'm creating a list which was going to store a account of data inside this. So this will insert a list of accounts. So it was going to insert a list in an account. So it was going to insert a list. You can see a list has multiple data, and this data is going to insert inside a list. So first we need to write public static. Then after this, you already know the data type. So this data type will be list account. Right now this account is working as a data type. Now this list account is working as a data type because we are fetching inside this data type. After this, you need to write the function name, which will be this insert account is the function name. And after this, here you need to pass two parameters. So the first parameter is a list account, which will be a list, and account.interest is the name of this list. So here we use a keyword name insert account.interest. Account.insert means this value, which will be a list value, it is going to insert inside this, and we are returning this. I think right now it was making a little bit flush, but when I am done with writing all of the program and when I write the execution part, at that time it will make more sense to all of you. After this, what I'm going to do this is the code which was used for insert a list of accounts. Now I'm going to do a same thing which was used for insert an account record. So how I'm going to do this? So doing this thing, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy this line again from here to here. And this time I'm going to just make a very small changes. So this time this is going to insert account of records, not a account of list. So the first is actually inserting account of list, but this is going to insert account of records. So public static is going to be same. This is not going to change. In the place of here, you can say list account. What I need to do, I need to change it from list account to only account. So public static in the place of list. Here I'm just writing account because this is going to be account data type. And here I need to write the function name. And now here, if you remember, account is object, but this time account is working as a data type. Yes, on object is also able to work as a data type. So here account is working as a data type in this particular function. So public static account, and after this I need to name it a like name. So this will be like name as same, and it will going to be named as insert account again. Like now here you can see I have just make this thing a little bit different. Like the first is insert accounts. Okay, let me just make it. So now you see I have two functions. First is insert accounts and the second is insert account. So the first is going to insert multiple things and the second is going to insert a single value, or you can say single record. After this, here you need to give the specific type and the method name. So here in the place of list account, I'm just going to change this, also this thing. So this will be the data type. So it was going to having account, and here you need to write the second or variable name. So it will depend on you what you are going to write the variable name. So right now I'm just making this account to interest the same way as the first. After this, what it was going to do, it has the same task. It was going to insert account.interest and it was going to return account.interest. Now those who are having question and are thinking like right now here you write this account.interest and this is here account.interest. So it is possible that it was going to take this. No, see, this is a list type of account and this is only account. So this was used for storing a single record, where this was used for storing a multiple record. So let me just write here the function name. So use for inserting a list in accounts. So this was used for inserting a list in accounts, where this code is used for inserting a record in account. Okay, so now you see we have two programs or two methods already created. Now I'm going to create some more methods to understand previous methods or previous fundamentals also very clearly. So now these two parts is clearly done. Now let's see the third part or the third function our program have. So now let's come to and see the third function. So now the third function is I'm going to retrieve also all the accounts using the particular SOQL statement. So how this is going to work, and this is now you're going to know how we are able to write a SOQL statement, or you can say inside Apex programming language. So for getting all accounts, here I need to write this function name, which will be like get all accounts which we stored. So get all accounts. So here I write get all accounts, and this function is actually going to store all accounts, or it was going to show you all accounts. So right now I'm just going to write this function name, and this function is going to a little bit different from the other. So let's write this function name. For this, first of all, I need to write public static. So public static, and this will also going to be a type of account, because here we are actually showing account. So again we are using account as a data type, so but it was actually going to show you a list of values inside the debugger. So list account here, public list account, and this account is going to show you, or we are retrieving all the accounts right now. So public static, and then the name of your particular program, which will be list account, and here it's the name. After this, the name is get all accounts. So now this is get all accounts, and this is also a type of list account. Remember, those who don't understand, this time this list account is actually the data type of this function. The same way here you can see this time this account is working as a data type for this function actually on the line number 8. Now here you see what we write, public static list account get all accounts. So now here this account is working as a data type. After this our function was created, and now I need to write the body of the function. So inside this we need to write the body of the function, and the body of function is not very tough, it is also a very easy thing. So how we are going to write the body of the function? So writing the body of the function is a little bit easier. So how we need to write? So let me just write it. I think we already written this thing. Okay, here you can see this is the code which was going to retrieve all accounts and assign to list a collection. Like here you see that the body is going to see we a list is having list account and accounts and equal to select name form. Now here you can see what I did. What I created, I will create retrieve all accounts and assign. So we are actually retrieving all the accounts and assign to a list of a collection. So we created a list, or you can say a collection. We have a different collection in Apex. So I'm using list collection, but I'm retrieving all the accounts and assign in a list. So here I created a list in account, list accounts, which will be accounts. And here I write this query. So inside this list, what was going to actually store? So it was going to actually store select name, phone from contact. So these two values was actually going to store from this list. And then it was going to return this account. So this is actually returning this value, and from this method we are able to get all of our accounts. So this is the three methods which we use to get the value here. Now let's see what have missed inside this program and try to make it complete. After this I have want to make two more functions. Now these two functions is very useful. So let me just try these two functions, then we are going to make complete program. So this is will be here. Okay, I think we don't have actually too much time. Okay, so this will be the body. Wait a second. For this, which is this. Okay, so I think we have one more acceptation here. Okay, this will be for this. This is for this. Good. Okay, so after this here I'm going to write this section. Okay, so these are two more functions which I created. First, which I created print all accounts. This function is used for printing all the accounts. So here you can see it is a public static function, or it was a void function, because as you remember it was printing something, so it does not require any return time because it was just a simple print statement. So public static void print all accounts. And what it was going to do, it was going to retrieve all accounts using get all accounts method. Like if you go a little bit up, and here you can see we have this method get all accounts. So this method is actually retrieving all the accounts. So we are using this method to print all the things. So first we need to name this public static void print all accounts. Here we come list account is equal to get all accounts. So we are passing all the values of this get all accounts inside this accounts, which will be a type of list. And then after what we do, we will iterate over all accounts and print account information. Like how? For this we use this for loop. So for account, here we need to write the data type account, and here this is the local variable, and where this local variable is going to be retrieved, it was going to retrieve the data from this the accounts which will the list. And here what we did, we print the system.debug account name. This is a message or a string. After this we use the plus or concatenation operation and print. As here you see I am writing account.name and account.phone. Why I'm doing this? See, because when you want to print information like this, you remember you need to use the dot operator, because here we are referring with the instance, not the class. So you need to remember here we are referring this with account. That's why I'm writing here account.name, and here we get this information. And in the last, wait a second, where is the class go? Okay, so here. So in the last, see, if you see the last thing of this class actually, and this is the last function inside this class. And what is this class? Like here we write a method that public static integer get account size, retrieve all account using get all account method. So list get all account return account dot size. So this method is basically going to return all the things, but here it was saying that get all accounts. Okay, so I think I have a mistake. Let me see, get all accounts. Uh, so instead of this get all accounts, I need to make it correct because the name is actually this thing. So what we are doing here, this get all account is actually storing some value. So what I'm doing, I'm just using this as a list. So I'm using this account.size function to get this value. So now if I do this part, everything is properly done here inside this code. And now we don't have any problem inside. Let's try to save our program and see that this was going to give an error and or otherwise it was going to work properly. Okay, again we have a problem line 2022. So method does not exist or incorrect. So let's see what we have problem on 22. So again we are getting on problem on 22 like this get all accounts problem. Okay, so I need to change this also. So let me write this, Control C. Okay, I need to remove this thing also from here, and this is the place of this. Okay, now this thing is going to work. Let's try to save this again. Files, save. Now let's see that. Okay, so now you see our code was actually perfectly saved, and now we need to run this code using our debugger console, and then we are going to see does we have any problem or not. Okay guys, so now I'm going to write the debugger's code for this particular program and see does this going to work or not. Again I'm going to explain you from the start. So first I will create a insert data class. Inside this first I will create use for inserting a list. So it was used for inserting a list of account elements inside account. After this what we are using, and here we are using the account object in which was present in our Salesforce obj. After this what I'm using for inserting a single record in account. After this what I created, I will create a function get all accounts which was going to retrieve all the accounts whatever was stored. And what it was retrieving, it was retrieving the name and phone from account. After this what I did, I will print all the accounts using this get account function. So I'm just getting this value, and after this I will just run this account.name and account.phone because it has only these two things. After this I am create one more function, print public static integer get account size, and this function is going to return the size of the account. And how it was going to do, it was going to do this by this get all account method which was returning the all accounts. Now let's try to execute this because it was already saved. Now come on the execution part, and here we need to write our code, and this code is the debugger's code. So here you see every method is actually a static method. So I don't need to actually create, or I don't need to create single things. So right now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create one single account first. So here I need to create, let me just see what we have, list accounts. So let me just do this. So here I'm going to create a basic account, and then I'm going to give a rating and trying to insert it and see does this work or not, to see that this insert will actually working or not. So here account, okay, just give me a second guys, just give me a moment. Okay, so now this is going to be work properly. Now all of these thing was written here properly, and now if I try to run this, it will be going to work smoothly. So let me just try rewrite actually. Okay, so this will be account.acc is equal to new account, and this I'm going to give here information like name is equal to CLR infotech or anything, and this will be a phone number which I just specify here. And after this what I use two methods, that acc.rating which will be this instance which I created for this account, new account. And actually here you can see what I did. If you see properly, I will create a new account, And this new account is actually a very simple thing. This here you can see account which is ACC new and account name, and it was holding two things. And I will also insert this rating hot. But let's first try to only execute the first thing and see what we are going to get. So here if I click on execute, here you can see the part was executed successfully. And now if I click on the debugger section this time, see what was actually happening. Right now you don't see anything, but you are not going to see this thing. Here you need to write search for SOQL first. So caps lock SOQL, and here you can see there will be no SOQL query run. Now if I write here DML, now if you see DML, here you can see there will be no any DML query also run, because we are just creating an instance of the class, right? After this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to write this part also, acc.rating is equal to hot, and insert acc. Now this insert is actually a function which was going to work when we call this thing. Now this time actually a method was executed. Now if you again click on the debugger, we are not actually printing anything because we don't use the print function. But this time guys, if I again go to here and search for again a little bit down, like here, more down, here you can see this time we have executed one DML statement, means we just insert one data. So 1 out of 150 means you're allowed to insert 150 data, and we insert one data. Number of DML rows, so one rows was also executed. Now let's try to rewrite all the other code which we are going to do this. So right now I'm going to create a list of accounts and I'm going to insert. So let's see how this thing works. So come here, open execute anomalous tags, and here I'm going to just write this. So here what you see, what I did, I just created a list of accounts this time, and I'm going to show you where this. So here you can see I created a list of accounts, new list account, and here I'm adding different values like account ACC, new account, name, test account, like this. And here I'm going to insert everything. Now you have two ways to insert this. Inserting a list, either you can insert like this or you can insert like this. So I'm right now not writing this. Okay, let's just try to execute this and see what was going to happen. Now if I click on this time the code was executed successfully again. And now if you click on the debugger section this time, again you are not able to see this, but this is not important. What you need to see this, you need to see here, come a little bit down and see this time what was actually happening. So here you see, this time we actually executed number of DML rows 6 was actually executed, and number of DML statement 2 executed. Why this was happening? Why 6 rows was executed? So if you see here, we are actually executing 6 rows because these are 5 rows, and if you see this is actually 1. So 6 rows was executing and 2 DML statement was executed. So first DML statement is this insert statement, and the second is this insert. So 2 DML statement and 6 rows was done, and this is how our DML works actually. So this is for all today, and if you want to see this thing, what you need to do, you need to come to the home Salesforce, and here when you come on, here you can see, I'll just open a new tab, and now if I come on the accounts, this time I'm able to see all the records which I just did. If I click on view all, here I need to go to accounts. So if I go to the accounts, and if I click on the here, you can see these are the accounts which I just saved using the function is actually saved in our program, which will account 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 CLR input, and these are and the numbers. And this is how you are able to save all the accounts in your particular program. So right now I'm just going to send you the code for this. Try to do this by your own self and see what is the problems and what are the things you're going to face when you are writing this program. So let me just send this all to you. And this is all for today. Let's meet on tomorrow, and tomorrow we are going to do the next part of the DML. So Smita ma'am, this is the end from my side, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, sir. Thank you so much. We'll meet again by tomorrow. Yeah, so dear students, I request please mark your attendance without any fail. So attendance link has been shared in a chat.
Just
I have just
sending the
shared it.
code. Just sending the code, guys. Just give me a second. Ma'am, just give me a second. I need to just send the code.
Yeah, no problem, sir.
So this is the debugger console, and this is the code. I'm going to send this code in two parts. So this is part 1, and this is your part 2. So write all the codes together and see does this work or not. Okay, ma'am. Now it's final from my side, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah, okay, fine. We will wind up for the day. We'll all meet again by tomorrow, students. Good night, everyone. Thank you for joining.